And hello, Yiping. Here we are at 5941 Highwood Road in beautiful Castro Valley. Here's Highwood, just to give you a quick view of the street. The street is a cul-de-sac, so it's very private. You're not going to get any traffic, really. And a lot of the homes, as you can see, are really nice and in original condition. And let's go take a look at 5941. It's a single-car garage. And the garage has not been converted like a lot of the other properties. When reviewing a property like a Eichler, you want to take a look at the siding, and you want to make sure that the siding and the foundation have a proper gap from the ground, which this one does, and the siding does appear to be in pretty good condition. I was looking at the house and I thought it could use some repainting, but that's just my opinion. There is the original glass still, which is above the garage, and also above the bedroom windows, which is really nice. Now here's the front, and this facade is the same, except that they filled this in with glass. They've enclosed the atrium, so if you wanted to bring it back to its original facade, you would have to remove that triangle of glass. And let's go into the house. Now the windows have been changed. They're not as mid-century modern as probably some people would like, and I think that's might have turned some people off. Now this would have been the atrium, and this would have been the entrance, and all of this would have been open. Now they have enclosed the atrium, and you can tell there's the seam, and there are 3 skylights there, and 3 over there as we follow the seam, so that you can see. Now, if you were to open that up, that's very doable and obviously would add a lot more light. Now, the woman who owned this home, she was a quote-unquote artist, and that is why they enclosed this. This is where she did a lot of her work. Nice, bright, sunny day looking into the main living area. And here's the garage. There's a skylight in the garage, also the redwood ceiling. Appears to be in pretty good condition, and they also have actually drywalled the garage. Now originally, there would have been a slider here, not that French door. That French door is an add-on, and the slider used to access the house into the den, and that's where they made the conversion. This front door was also a slider, but they've also put in French doors, and there were different windows here. There were actually those, it was more open, all glass, actually, so that, you were looking more into the atrium. Now, the home is in live-in condition, it really is, so that's what makes it enticing, I'm sure, to be a rental property. As you can tell, the ceiling is all in really good condition, and that's also very original. Coming back and looking out the windows are original there as well. The fireplace is original, and it's wood burning. It has not been enclosed or anything like that. That's nice. You can always remove these large cabinets if you wanted to. That goes into the master area. And this is like a dining area that a lot of people would use. Now, in the original Eichler, that French door that you see right there was not there. That was actually a continuous wall, and where the cabinet is in the corner was a door like you find in a restaurant that opens in and out. Great sliders leading to the outside of the house, also from this area, and you can see through those sliders the kitchen access. So if you were to complete that wall, that would bring it back to almost its original look, really floor plan for this Eichler. Now this has the original paneling, but they painted over it. So once again, that's an easy fix. You can always replace paneling. It's not that expensive, and it's a pretty simple job. The floors look to be in good condition. I think they're Pergo. And if you are going to be doing radiant heating, Pergo is actually a little bit better. It does transfer the heat a little bit better. Now, walking into the kitchen, they have remodeled the kitchen. It's not the original kitchen. I personally think an IKEA kitchen or something a little bit more mid-century modern would be really nice. One thing they did do, though, which is nice about this property, is they have a gas line. And Eichlers, being electric kitchen, that was the thing in the early 60s. You don't find a lot of them with gas lines, so that's a nice feature. And there's access outside to the backyard from the kitchen. Here's the pantry. And the pantry still has the original mahogany walls. And that's actually the original, not that center beam, but that's the original layout of how it looked. There is no fridge, so you would have to get a refrigerator. And in the original kitchen, I mean, this is where they did most of their changes. That's where they, opened up this area where it was solid, and a lot of people would use this area as a den. This used to be the den. Out there in the main living area, the great room, that was more formal. Formal dining on that side, more of a formal family room there, and this is where people would watch TV and hang out, or the kids would hang out, because this was also where the majority of the bedrooms were. This thing is not a 5-bedroom, it's a 3-bedroom, and I think that's what's discouraging a lot of people. And what they did change, and this is the one thing I think would be the easiest fix, and that would be to put a wall, another wall, you can see in the ceiling. Right, see the beam, how it's different? From there, there's an additional piece right there. That is because there was a wall there. This was, and so what I would do is put the wall back. You may even have to remove these French doors and wall this in as well, or put a window. And even think about putting the French doors over here, if you wanted to keep them contextual with the other French doors, because that's where the slider used to be. There was a slider that led from the den into the atrium. So you put another wall back here, and you bring this back into a 4-bedroom instead of the 3-bedroom conversion. And once again, I think that's a huge reason, because people moving up to Castro Valley are mostly families, and and people nowadays want more than just a 3-bedroom. They're going to need a 4-bedroom, whether it be the 4th bedroom as a guest bedroom, or whether it be the 4th bedroom as an office. It just doesn't make sense. So here we are. This is the front of the house, one of the bedrooms. It's actually a decent size, and it has a lot of its original attributes, such as the glass. So it does get really some nice light, and the ceiling seems to be in good condition. I don't see any sign of leakage. And then there's an adjoining, another bedroom over here. And with the master being on the other side in the double A, that's what this design is called, the double A. The idea was to keep the kids, separated. But the window has been changed, but the windows do seem to be double pane. So, even though they're not necessarily Eichler-esque, they are at least double pane windows and new. This is the bathroom, the original bathroom. This was once a double sink. They made it into a single sink. And they've also enclosed the door. This was the door where the glass brick is. That was the door that you used to access. So when your kids were out playing in the backyard, they didn't come through the front of the house. They would come through the side, get cleaned up, and then come back. Hence, the washer and dryer being right here. So the washer and dryer would be here. There would be actually sliding doors, even though there were cabinets. These cabinets were actually shelves. So that would be enclosed. There would be then the hallway. You can see where the hallway would be. So you're putting a wall here to here, basically, and a wall to here and here, and enclosing this room. That's how you would break this back to a 4-bedroom and add value to the property. Now let's go go back through the main room, the great room, always the brightest rooms, and into the master. Master does have the original sliders, very nice ceiling, original glass, and you do get some views of the canyons from both the great room and also from the master. I wouldn't say that it has bay views. You get the bay views in the front of the house, and I think you don't really see much out of the front of the house. And you go up to Green Ridge Park and stuff, but for bay views, no, you're going to get canyon views here. See, this is where they can do some conversions. This used to be the bathroom for the master. And now it is was the master bathroom and closet. And this would have been a bedroom, another room that a lot of people who have the double A actually make into offices. But they've now converted this into a large bathroom with 2 sinks. This glass is not necessarily original. It's a little dated, but it looks functional. And I'm sure that, if you were renting it, you wouldn't necessarily want to have it as the most up-to-date, thing per se, because it is going to be used, and for a little while. There are, a lot of the originality you're finding in the closet. See all the mahogany, and these are all original shelves as well. So if you wanted to like start putting more originality back into this, you can change the closet doors very easily. Interestingly enough, these doors are original. It would be putting some mahogany back on the wall, only if you wanted to, because some of the Eichlers do have sheetrock. And it's not uncommon to find people who have painted them. But if you're a purista, that's probably what you'd want to do. But you can see where some of the investment would be, and the neighborhood that a lot of people really want Eichlers. So when they come up and they see a home that's not particularly a true Eichler, and there's been some modifications like there have been here, it can get discouraging. And I think we're seeing that now in price. However, I also see the opportunity for somebody to get a good deal, and if not, make some money in the future and have a nice home. Okay, let's go outside. Nice and smooth. Here's the backyard. Now, Edie, you mentioned about the size of the lot, and yes, this lot is significantly smaller than the property I have coming on the market. However, it is manageable. Here's a good shot of the back of the house. This is the double A. It does have a really nice facade. A lot of people really like this one, and I think that's also why, because people want the double A, and they come out and they realize, oh, it's got only 3 bedrooms or whatever. But here's a little dog run. Some of your land does go down the hill. Here's looking out down Green Ridge and the views of the hills and the canyons. But really, once again, not a bay view necessarily. This is a fruit tree, so it is going to bloom, have those pink flowers. There's a little olive tree over here and some other stuff, but there is room to do some gardening if you wanted to. I hear some hawks in the background. But here's the access again to both the kitchen and what would normally be the formal dining room. That then leads into the great room, which is actually quite nice. Going down the side of the house, I look for things like wood rock, siding. Here's a great example of what not to do. See, they need to fix these downspouts because you notice that's where the damage is. No house is perfect, but, that's a simple fix. That's something that you can do literally in a matter of 20 minutes. So, get it done. Don't take the chance. And then heading back into the front of the house. There we are. I'll take us back here, and that concludes our video tour of 5941 Highwood. I hope you guys have a great week and a very happy new year. Please let me know if you have any questions, and we'll be in touch. Take care, guys.